What up, everybody? Welcome to the Bourbon Buzzed and Ballin podcast. We are your hosts, Kolby and Dut, and it's time to rate that shit. Kolby, what do we have tonight?
Tonight, we've got the small batch sour mash Michters. And if you'll notice on the bottle of Michters, it says U.S. with a little star and a 1. And I learned that that is because they consider themselves the first U.S. whiskey company.
How about that?
They were established in 1753. So, how about I put up the rating system on the screen behind us, and you tell everybody how we like to rate our bourbons.
Excellent. So, those of you watching, you can see behind me, we have our rating system up there. If you're listening, we have a rating system 1 through 4. 1 is, to me, it's not good. It didn't meet our palate. And obviously, at the end of all this, we're going to give you our personal recommendation, and we hope to either save you some money or, in fact, make you go out and spend some money because we like the bourbon so much. So if we rate it a 1, that's a brown bag for us. We consider that, not worth your money.
That's right. Number
2, it's getting a little bit better, but, honestly, we all have what we consider a number 2 bourbon in our collections. That's a mixer for us. That could be a stock bourbon, something you like to make your favorite drink with. 3, it's getting better, might be higher in proof, and so we drop a rock in there, dilute it down. We call that on the rocks. And then last but not least, the tried and true, the way I think any aficionado would like to drink their bourbon that's neat in a glass of your choice. We personally like the Glencairn, and so that's our rating system.
That's right. So like I said, we've got a Michter's with us tonight. Michter's is their distilleries in Louisville, Kentucky, and this is their sour mash. And the interesting thing about a sour mash is they start out with a mash that has already been fermented.
So is it a mash bill that they would use for their regular mix?
So it's something that's already been fermented a little bit. It's kind of like making sourdough bread.
Uh-huh.
So you start out with your base being a previously fermented mash, then add in a little more of your regular mash, then you go through the whole aging process. So that's where the sour mash comes from. The thought process is it gives you a sweeter, more complex bourbon. Some people agree with that, some people don't agree with that, but that's supposedly the thought process behind doing a sour mash. Now, this is a corn, a rye, and a barley.
Okay.
Now, if you'll notice, it says whiskey. It doesn't say bourbon.
Right.
So that's an indicator that
the barley,
the corn is probably not at least 51%. So it's going to have less. It's going to have at most half corn, more rye, and then a little bit more barley. But it doesn't qualify to be called a bourbon because it doesn't have that 51% minimum that you need.
They age it like a bourbon, but it doesn't have that mash bill.
And the taste, it's supposed to start out tasting like a bourbon, but finish like a rye. So it's an interesting concept, and I'm curious as to what we're going to think of it.
I've heard a lot about it, and I've always wanted to try it.
That's right. Now, price-wise, do you remember what you paid for it?
Yeah, $72.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, they marked that up then.
Yeah.
Because it should go for about $45 to $50 is what it should go. So you must not have bought it in North Carolina.
No, that was bought
South
across,
Carolina.
Yes,
Okay.
Southern Spirits.
Yeah,
this is their allocated bottle.
Yeah,
release.
and it is hard to get, so they are going to mark the price up. So, typically you should expect to pay probably about $49.
Right.
But because you went somewhere where the price wasn't regulated, and you wanted it, and you wanted to try it, so you were willing to pay a little bit extra.
That's
for
right.
it. It is 86 proof, so it's a little bit,
a little weak.
I'm a little bit worried. When I saw that, I was like, I hope it's good, but
maybe because of the rye, it'll finish off a little bit spicier, and maybe make you think you're drinking a 95, 98 proof.
Now they don't disclose the age of it. you know, and it would probably be hard to really give an age, given the fact that it was already kind of previously fermented a little bit, and then it was put in the barrels. Now, one thing about Michters is they do age their barrels longer than most people do. So, you know, we'll give it a taste and see what we think. Your aroma should be like a caramel, an apple, and a nutmeg. I'm gonna swirl that around a little bit, wake it up.
Do that.
And we do, you know, I don't know if we've ever mentioned this, but we usually pour these a good 20, 30 minutes before we're actually going to try to let them breathe, you know, like you would a wine. And then we like to swirl them in the Glencairn glass. And that's the beauty.
S's.
That's right. And that's the beauty of the Glencairn is with that
My
pear,
own proprietary tasting method, the 5 S's.
but with that pear-shaped bottle, you can give it a good swirl and wake up all those.
Man, I'm getting a lot of apple. I get a lot of
That's
apple.
the first thing I got as soon as I put it to my nose.
Yeah, I get a
was
lot
apple.
of apple. I'm definitely. I can definitely.
That's got a nice aroma to it.
It does have a good smell. It's very
pleasant
fruity,
aroma.
and I'm smelling. I feel like I'm smelling that barley a little bit. You know, because when we taste the mash straight out of that,
Right.
That's kind of
Well, and next week when we do their Kentucky Straight small batch, that's one thing about that mash bill is that you're really supposed to smell the bill. You know that.
Well, it is a little complex, you know,
Now-
for 86 proof.
Yeah, and now taste wise, you should get a little butterscotch, a little caramel, vanilla toffee. So it's going to be a little bit sweeter.
Yeah,
maybe a little coffee cake.
It's got a really good hug up front, like when it first hits the front part of your tongue, your taste buds. I'm thinking, oh, that's really full of rye. And then it finishes off really smooth. I mean, this finishes off really smooth with very little burn and hug, and it finishes off very caramelly to me, appley, you know, fruity.
Yeah, I still get the apple.
Yeah,
I still
absolutely.
get the apple. I'm not really getting the coffee cake.
I get.
All right, Dut, rate that shit.
I like it, man. I like it a lot. I'm gonna rate it a 3.
Okay.
It's a solid 3 for me. Definitely an enjoyable bourbon. It's worth the money. To me, it's worth the money to have.
Definitely, if you can get it at MSRP.
Yeah, if you can get it, go to Kentucky and get it at MSRP.
Right.
But for us, you know, not so.
Yeah,
here,
around here in North Carolina, the only thing I ever see is just the small batch.
Yeah.
The regular.
Yeah, solid 3 for me, man. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's.
Doesn't really have a bold rye flavor.
Well, you know, I didn't really get that. Starts like a bourbon, finishes like a rye. I get more the sweet bourbon. A lot of apple, but I don't really get that. I don't really get that strong spice on the backside.
I got the sweet bourbon I got the no. This is how I got it. I got the rye up front, and then it quickly turned into sweet bourbon, caramelly apple on the back end, and just really smooth. Not a hug, not a burn at all.
No, not at all.
Just a really good sipper.
Yeah,
It's a good sipper.
it is. I think this one I would enjoy it more after dinner than with dinner.
You think it was that sweet, kind of?
I'm still hung up on that sweet apple.
Yeah. Definitely very appley.
So to me, that would be more of a dessert bourbon than a main course bourbon.
What's your rating?
Oh, it's a 3 for me. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, it's a solid 3, without a doubt. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, no, I've always wanted to try this sour mash, you know, and Michter's I've just never really been on to Michter's. I mean, but now, I mean, I enjoyed that.
Yeah. Now I've had the just the regular one that we're gonna do next week. I've had a bottle of that before, but it's been a little while.
Okay.
So looking forward to trying it again. The one we do next week is a little bit higher proof. It's a 91 or a 91.4 actually, and it's aged at least 4 years. They don't disclose the exact age, but so it we didn't really talk about the color of this one. It's got a nice
little amber,
amber color.
Amber color
yeah,
to it.
so no, that's a good bourbon. It's a good one to have in your collection. Like I said, to me, I would enjoy a glass of that after dinner. I don't know how well it would pair with the steak. I think I'd still lean more towards a chicken cock or Blanton's or Willet
if you
with
do
my
compare
steak.
that to like wine pairing with your food, that's
Right.
more like that to me comes off more like a white wine,
Exactly.
like a pasta wine or something.
Right.
If you wanna
Well, I mean,
equate
that's,
bourbon to your
that's
food, which we do.
Yeah, that's part of it. Is you want them to enhance each other.
Yeah.
And so yeah, like I said, to me, I would probably go with a Willet or a chicken cock or a Blanton's or something like that with my steak.
Chicken cock, right?
And then I would, after dinner, I would enjoy a glass of that. So
Yeah.
no, it's good bourbon. I'm glad you brought that.
Yeah. No, that's a good one.
Okay.
Good info, man. I liked it.
Yeah,
Sweet.
yeah. It was, like I said, I never knew what the U.S. 1 on the bottle meant, and
Right.
so and there, right there on the bottle, it shows that it was established in 1753.
You might have missed the distillery when we drove by it in downtown Louisville because you weren't looking.
It was. I think
That's a good story.
I think I got sick right in front of the distillery, if I remember correctly.
I think you did. I hope Michter's didn't feel like that was because of their bourbon. That was from the tons of bourbon the night before.
Yes,
That was funny.
And
'cause
the
that's
lack of
exactly
food.
where it happened.
I was thinking, because then we turned just past it. We took the right turn just past it.
That's exactly
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Whew.
We had a good time.
Oh,
man.
that was a fun
We
trip.
might need to post those vids.
Well, it's
one
funny
time about
because
that
my
trip.
wife last night said, this time last year you were in Indianapolis.
I know.
And I was like, thanks for reminding me. And she's like, well, you had a good time. I said, well, I meant the outcome of the ball game.
Right.
But no, it was a great trip. If you get a chance to go do the Bourbon Trail, or you don't even have to do the Bourbon Trail. Just go hit a couple of distilleries. It's a great time.
Just go to Bardstown.
Yeah.
I promise you.
Go to the bar in Bardstown that's
Yeah.
got every bourbon known to man.
Man, we had a good time. We had a
It
good
was.
time.
Up
for sure.
until we left because there was a fight broke out.
Was there a fight?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there was.
Yeah,
a
right
fight.
after you was on stage singing.
Oh, that's right.
Now, I went to the bathroom, come out, you're on stage singing. You get off stage singing, we turn around, there's a fight, and the whole bar clears. So, but anyway, it was a good time up
It
until
was
then.
a good time, man. Everybody was having a good time except for a few, obviously.
Except for the guy that lost the fight.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man.
See, I remembered that. You wouldn't think I would have remembered that.
Well, we were both
the condition I was
we
in.
were both a few bourbons in, couple of C notes
Well,
in.
we power slammed how many distilleries in about 2 hours? I think we hit four distilleries in a matter of what, 3 or 4 hours.
All with taste tests.
All with lined up taste tests, and then we had the bright idea to go out to the bar after all that.
Well, we went to eat lunch and drank bourbon, and then we went back.
Well, we ate at the Bardstown distillery.
Yeah, and we drank bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
Drank bourbon, and when we got back to
A lot of bourbon.
But that's what you do in bars.
That's right. I had a great time. I'm ready to go back.
Me too.
Ready to go back. Anyway, we appreciate y'all listening. Shoot us some feedback. We're on all the socials: TikTok, Instagram. We got an email,
YouTube,
Spotify, Apple.
Yeah.
Hit us up.
We're out there. We're gaining traction.
That's right. Every week, we appreciate all you people who
That's it.
keep hitting that like button and following us and sharing us. So
We told you 24 weeks ago we were going nowhere,
yeah.
but we meant we weren't leaving.
I was gonna say, wait a minute. I thought we were going.
Oh, we're going places.
You meant we're
not
giving
leaving.
up.
Yeah, we're not leaving. We got all of this right here. This is no overhead, baby.
Heck, one of our listeners said we need to pay somebody to get our name out there.
That's it. That's
So,
it. I mean,
we're depending on you guys to get our name out there.
we're drinking
We're
this
gonna,
anyway.
We're gonna pay for this.
Yeah. So no, good stuff. Email us bourbonbuzzandballinpr@gmail.com.
That's right.
And we appreciate all of you that follow, like, and share our content, and keep doing it. Keep helping us grow, and we'll keep giving you a good show.
That's
How
right.
about that?
That's right. Next week we got the wild card round of the playoffs. We might need to.
No more football, man. No more college.
No
football.
more college, so we might need to throw a disrespect or a list, or
Yeah.
we'll decide between now and then. Or you be the GM, kind of like we did tonight.
Yeah,
But,
we're gonna.
I think maybe that'll be further down.
Yeah,
the road.
we're gonna start building our draft content. You know, in the next few months.
Yeah.
We might need to talk some recruiting roundup, wrap up. We got February recruiting coming, so
Yeah, that's true.
so we got stuff to talk about.
Yep. All right.
Sweet.
Sounds good. Cheers.
Cheers.